Hello and welcome back to Strongwoman High's Life is a Mishmash. Today we have very special guest on the podcast. We have Ellen Davies, not from Logged and Loaded, but sort of from Logged and Loaded. Welcome to the show, Ellen.
Hello, it's good to be here, Becca.
Very happy to have you on the podcast. Very excited. So, do you want to give everyone a brief elevator pitch introduction to who you're all about, what you're all about, that type of thing?
So, hey, I'm Ellen. Obviously, I'm a strong woman, compete in the under 64 category, have done for the last couple of years. Outside of the sport, I'm a bit of a corporate wanker. So I work for a big corporate facilities management entity on the HMCTS contract. So everything I do is in court buildings. Sounds more interesting than it is because it's compliance work.
The worst kind of work.
Yeah. So for me, it's stark difference from the sport, going from court buildings to a rough and ready strongman gym. But yeah, that's me at the moment. And yeah, I'm in the Logged and Loaded studio because I painted it, so it's my turn to use it.
Hell yeah, we love that. Yeah, taking advantage of the studio 100%. No, it's class. That I love that you're a proper corporate big boss girl as well. It's so fucking cool.
Trying to be.
Hell yeah. How long have you been competing again?
2021, so about 5 years.
Nice. And what originally got you into the sport?
Ben Glasscock. So I haven't lived up in the north for that long. I moved up here back in October, moved in with Tom. But prior to this, I was down in the south. So I trained in the gym that Ben works out of. He was my coach and I was doing some powerlifting stuff. And he ran a powerlifting comp in the morning and then a strongman comp in the afternoon. And I said to him on the day, I was like, "Oh, can I jump in?" And he kind of chuckled. He was like, "Yeah, go for it." So I jumped in on the day and switched immediately. It was way more fun.
That's class. I love that. Did you do the powerlifting comp in the morning as well?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Powerlifting comp in the morning, strongman in the afternoon.
Yeah, no, it was a great day.
I bet you were fucking wrecked.
I think I was all right, to be fair. I didn't do that well. I think it was there was an axle, there was the deadlift for reps, but it was only 100 kilos or something. So for me at that point, I think I pulled over 10. But when it came to learning how to clean and press an axle on the day, it was quite interesting. So I'd never belt cleaned anything at that point.
Oh God!
I think there was a frame in it as well, so that was hard because I'd never really done any grip stuff. But yeah, I was like, yeah, shit, this is way more interesting.
Way more fun. Nah, I love that. Have you always been into lifting then as well, or sporty background? What's your sporty background?
No. So I played football in primary school, and then secondary school I would avoid PE. And then I actually went to Welbeck Defence Sixth Form College in Loughborough. So I moved away for college. I was meant to be joining the RAF. So I was an Air Force sponsored candidate. I had shin splints for basically 2 years. I just still wasn't really very sporty, but I did do some gym stuff. And then when I got to uni, I did do a foundation year. That's as far as I got at that point. But yeah, when I was younger, I had horses before college. So that was sort of my interest, and it still very much is my interest, just not financially viable these days. So yeah, I wasn't very sporty. Bit of a chunky kid as well, up until the last few years, basically. But then found Strongwoman, and just competed at sort of lower levels for the first few years, and then decided, right, it's time to do something about this, and drop into a weight class. So I dropped from walking around at sort of 82 kilos to competing in the under 64s, not walking around that close to 64 right now, but I also don't need to be. And so, yeah, that's me basically.
Amazing. I love that because it's quite a wide range of stuff there as well. RAF, horses, loads of shit going on there. You've done a bit of everything, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's class, that. I love it. I do want to ask you about your 2-year long history of shin splints, though. That sounds fucking horrendous.
So when it comes to the military, you have to pass a fitness test. So for us, it was the PFA, and the college was basically, it was an oval of tarmac, and then everything was housed in the center of that. So you would run around the oval. So it was just going from not really doing any running, scraping my way through the fitness test, and then regularly running on tarmac. That was the issue. It was the
Yeah.
impact, and it was
Sounds
miserable.
horrendous. I do feel like army fitness tests are good, but I do think a lot of the ways that they train in the army is actually not that beneficial. Like, it's not, they don't do it for longevity. They do it to get you really good to be in the army, and then but they don't really give a fuck about what happens after that. They're like, as long as you're good for this period of time, fuck everything else.
Yeah. Yes,
So,
unfortunately so.
yeah, it's not ideal at all, is it? That not ideal. What a chew as well. What a chew. I love as well about the horses too. My sister was mad into horses when she was like a bit younger, and they're just fucking ridiculously expensive, aren't they? It's crazy how expensive they are.
Yeah, so I was lucky in the fact that I started at a riding school. So I was having lessons, and then I got old enough to help out, and also then got old enough to be paid to help out. So when you're in that in between, when you're old enough to be on the yard and help, but they can't actually pay you, you would just get lessons for free. So you just get more riding in. And then Mum surprised me with our own pony when I was sort of early teens, which was, it was brilliant. He was Connemara crossed with Arab. So he was he wasn't well built, but he wasn't as nimble as an Arab, but he behaved like one. It was a shithead sometimes.
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic. And if I ever get to that financial standpoint where I could have another, I absolutely would. Horses are my absolute favourite animal.
Are there? Yeah. See, I always used to be scared of horses. My sister got a horse, and then my mum and dad, in their infinite wisdom, thought, we'll buy Becca one as well because that horse needs a friend horse. And I didn't even like horses. I was like, I don't fucking want a horse. You couldn't even ride it. It was a little tiny horse. I was like, it wasn't a Shetland pony, but it was like a small horse. And I was just like, fuck. And I remember having to clean its feet one day, and it stood on my foot, and I was just like, oh, fuck you. Like, I don't even like you. But as I've got older, I do think I actually do quite like horses more. I think I was just always very scared. They're so big.
Yeah, so many people seem to be scared of horses because of the size of them, because it's generally a half-ton animal. Like, they are big, and they are small, and they can do some damage. But also when you bond with an animal like that, it's just, like, I got to the point where my horse he'd been kicked in the face at one point, so he had a fracture down his face, so he couldn't have his bridle on for a while, and we lived next to sort of some foresty area, so I just stuck his head collar on, hopped on his back, didn't tack him up at all, and I would just ride out like that.
Class.
I had that level of trust in him.
Yeah, I do like that because it's like the sort of thing you'd get with a dog, like the bonding experience you'd get with a dog, isn't it? Just with a massive animal that you can ride.
Yeah, they behave like big dogs sometimes as well.
Yeah, I think my turning point for fear of horses was we were at a show. I'm sure it was like the Royal Bath and West show or something. We were doing the Birds of Prey display there, and they had like all the horses in the arena, and someone, I don't know what it was, there was a load of female horses, someone brought in a boy horse, and everyone went fucking crazy. All the horses went fucking mental. And this one horse just like set off fucking running, and this guy like stepped in front of it, grabbed its head collar and just pulled it down as it was running. And because its head was down, I didn't realize this, but if you pull a horse's head down, they can't fucking go anywhere. Like, they don't move, they just stop, don't they? And I saw him do it, and I was like, the fuck? Like, this isn't, as if that guy just ran towards a fucking like steaming horse and just pulled its head down. And after that I was like, maybe they're not that scary. But yeah, I do like them. I really want a mule. My husband really wants a mule too. We're desperate to get a big, like, massive mule that'll just like, I don't know, drag logs around and shit. Like, I just think it would be so cool to have knocking about the farm, like just big stupid mule.
Yeah, and then and their little snoots.
Yeah, they're so cute.
Their muzzles are so soft.
Yeah, because
velvet.
Yeah, I think because I'd love a donkey as well, like, but I think a mule is like the best of both worlds, isn't it? You get a bit of horse, a bit of donkey. It's just like an ultimate combo.
Yeah, because donkeys can be noisy.
Yeah, they can be. They're just so cute though, aren't they? Like the farm down the road from us, they've got a few donkeys and they're so fucking
Yeah, they
nice.
are
Like,
cute.
I mean, I've already got guinea fowl, so they're already loud as fuck. So a couple of
What's
donkeys not
another
make
animal?
them. Exactly. What's another animal? Anyway, right, we're getting distracted again. This is the problem with having mates on the podcast where I just start talking about fucking random shit. We need to get into your podcast. Right, so tell me what's been your Strongwoman high then, Ellen.
Strongwoman high. Probably. So I think there's a couple. So Natural England's this year. I went into that comp knowing that that was going to be my only pathway comp for the year. I was facing a lot of fatigue at the end of last year. I put myself in the ground a bit. So we knew that we would do one, and regardless of whether I qualified for UKs or just wasn't going to do it, just for health purposes, we needed to rebound after this. And I went and qualified for UKs, and it's just what it was one that wasn't expected. The 64s are very competitive, and they're getting stronger and stronger. Willow, for example, is just absolutely phenomenal. And it just feels like you're constantly chasing after that kind of standard. But you've got such a range in the 64s. So yeah, I just went in and wanted to enjoy the day. That was sort of my main focus. And yeah, I had a really good day. When it came to the deadlift, because my deadlift had tanked again with the fatigue, I was like, right, I'll go in sort of 1, maybe 2 reps would be nice. And I hit 4. It wasn't a set of 4. It was pull a rep, take a knee, pull a rep, take a knee. But that worked for me. And the Husa for distance, I hadn't even got 90 kilos off the floor in prep. So we have a 60 and an 80. And I'd bought one of those sort of little plate things that you can strap onto the top of it to make it that little bit heavier. Because at the time we couldn't get enough sand in our 80 for it to be heavy enough. And then on the day, I think I got about 60 meters with the 90 kilo Husafel. Like it came out of nowhere. And then again with the sandball over yoke, I wanted the 80 option, and there was some weeks in prep I couldn't even break the floor with it. And I got 4 reps on the day. It's just, I just went into it wanting to have a good day, and I had a good day, and I had a really good performing day, which was, really,
nice.
really happy with that one. And then more recently, deadlift suited PB. So I was meant to go over to Manchester and do Manchester's strongest in the inters. Turned out I was literally the only woman entered for the day. And I thought, it was disappointing, because apparently there was meant to be 2 of us, but the other girl had pulled out. And I ummed and ahed about it, and tried to put something in place with work to get me over there, to give me a reason to travel. It just didn't work out. So I said, there's no point me doing this travel over just to be the only person. That was a raw deadlift comp. So my entire prep had been raw. And then last Saturday, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to stick the suit on and see what I can pull. I pulled 177.5 on the deadlift bar, which is 10 kilo PB on any bar for me.
Hell yeah, that's class.
Yeah. I hadn't pulled over 137.5 in the prep. So to then, stick the suit on and find 40 kilos.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was a mint day.
Yeah, that's class. I love that. What a shame about that comp as well, because you were training so hard for that. Because that was that crazy comp, wasn't it? Was it no split jerks on?
No split jerks.
The log was heavier than the axle, and then those shields was like 120 kilos or something crazy.
Yeah,
that's fucking mad. Yeah, what a shame. What a shame that there wasn't like enough people in there for that to carry on. It's so shit sometimes. I think a lot of these like grassrooty level comps when it happens, because it's just really stunts the growth of like grassroots women's comps if there's just not the turnout, doesn't it?
I think it's the timing as well, because obviously we're still kind of mid pathway. We've got both the tested and untested worlds coming up, and it was a heavy inters comp. Like, had I back before I looked at the weight class stuff, I would have looked at those numbers and gone, not a chance. Like when I would kind of count myself as more of a grassroots athlete, I wouldn't have managed it. And I think that may have been the issue. Like, it's too heavy for your usual inters,
Yeah.
but then it's too close to anything else for sort of the weight class athletes that tend to drop into those kind of comps for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a bit of a
100%.
shame because it would have been really good.
Yeah.
And I know they're running some more comps, and hopefully they do get some more attention because it looked like it was meant to be a really good day.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is so difficult, isn't it? And I think because we have, it's almost like we've got too much supply and not enough demand in terms of competitions now. It feels like there's so many competitions that you can do, and there's so much access to competitions, but there's probably not the number of athletes competing in the sport, especially in the women's side, that allows those categories to get filled. So it's almost like we need, like, I'm a big believer as well in grassroots comps being really light. Like I get that like gyms and people will want to put on grassroots comps that are heavier to try and attract maybe a different standard of athlete, but I do think you're massively limiting yourself there in terms of like how many people you get signing up for them. Because I know whenever we've put on comps at Northern, if we've made them really light, we've had way more entries. If we make them heavy, way less. Like it goes with the territory, I think.
Yeah, because people want to be able to go into it and do everything. Whereas with that comp, I was looking at going in and zeroing the deadlift. Because with the way the peak went, I just wouldn't have pulled 150 raw. It wasn't going to happen. And you're not going to get a lot of sort of inters level women that can pull 150 raw. Realistically speaking, it was just a bit too heavy to get that sort of attention, which is a
100%.
shame.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's kind of might be a learning curve because the timing, the weights, it just needed looking at a little bit, I think.
Yeah. And I do think as well, like like you said, you knew going into that you would zero something. And I think that's an experienced athlete thing. That's not that your more novice grassroots athletes, if they look at a competition and think, I'm going to zero that, it'll only take one event for them to zero and they'd go, I won't do that then because I'm going to zero that one event. And that's enough to put them off. Whereas like a more experienced athlete would go, I might zero that, but I've got a chance of still doing pretty well on the other events that are in there because you know how competitions and like the scores and the points all work, whereas the novices don't, so they'll just go, I'm going to zero that, there's no point in going, and you do cut off a lot of people there entering into your comp, don't you?
And like you say, it's definitely an experience thing. Like I had that with obviously OSG Europe's last year. I knew that I would be going into that with at least 1 or 2 zeros because it was heavy. That level was out of my league. However, I wanted the experience of doing a 2-day comp. So you just embrace it. And I think that's a good thing for people to learn, but you get there over time.
Yeah, I don't think you feel like that in the first few, year or 2 years of competing. You're like, fucking hell, I don't want to zero anything. Mainly because you're usually embarrassed and you're like, oh no, it's so embarrassing if I go there. And as you get a bit more experience, you're like, fuck it. Who cares? Who cares? I'll just see how it goes.
I had it at the Haynes Farm Open. So I'd done, I think it was must have been my second year of it. I'd done it the first year and I'd pulled 150 on the Cambridge deadlift. And then the next year I went back and I think it was that for reps and I couldn't shift it. And I walked out the barn and launched my belt across the farmyard. I was, not a great reaction.
No.
But yeah, like I say, it comes with time and experience to accept that it does happen. And it's okay for it to happen. It doesn't necessarily ruin your comp.
No, absolutely not. Like, I think because I've zeroed deadlifts for years at comps, and like, I think it's been real character building for me. I'm like, now if I zero something, I'm just like, nah. Like, oh well, I might try it again. I'll see what I feel like. Like, failure is definitely, I think the more you fail, especially in this sport, the more comfortable it then gets to the point where you're just like, it doesn't affect you at all. Like if I fail a lift, even if I've been training for it for ages, I'm just like, well, I'll probably get that in a day or two. Like I'm not going to stress myself out about it.
Yeah. It's not going to massively impact life at the end of the day.
No, absolutely not. No, I love that one of your highs was at Natty England's as well, because Natty England's was a class day. It was intense, and I remember being quite stressed out because it was just it was a big day, wasn't it? There was a lot going on. It was fast, but I think also one of my favourite comps. Like I really enjoyed that this year.
Yeah, and the Box Park Arena was great for it.
Sick.
I know I've not shied away from saying it, but the only issue I had with that was the warm up area that we had. And I
Yeah.
understand why they put it where they did, because when they'd done the juniors and masters UKs the previous year, it had been outside, and they had outside people just coming in and trying to pick stuff up, which could just, if someone got hurt, could just turn into an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
So to have that enclosed area was great. It was just on a slope. And so a little bit terrifying with some of the warm-ups. But with all the positives out of that comp, it's not outweighed by that one little thing. And so they can't control everything. I mean, to get the absolute perfect environment and arena is difficult, because you can't make everybody happy. You can't tick all of the boxes. Whereas they got a free venue, and it's free to go and then spectate. And the amount of outside people you then had coming and watching gets a lot more attention on us, on the sport. So, well worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I loved it. I thought it was really good. Like I did that in UKs, and I didn't enjoy UKs as much. I don't think my head was in it. I wasn't set up to enjoy UKs, to be honest. But the England's was class. And I think if like I probably won't do the Natty Pathway next year, but I would definitely go and either watch England's or just go and do England's for a bit of crack, because like it was so much fun this year. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, I do agree. I like the Natty Strongman pathway is class at the moment. Like it's really growing really well. So it's exciting to see what they'll do with that next year as well.
Yeah,
Love it.
Yeah, and it's been cool for me this year being slightly on the other side of it. So I've got involved with the comps, generally timekeeping, which gives me a great front row seat to everything. But yeah, seeing sort of the other side of the setup and the comp being run and just making sure that things are done, you get a whole other perspective of it, because it's not easy. There's a lot of logistics. There's a lot to put together. And they're always the first to admit when something's gone wrong. There's mistakes do happen, because human error does happen. Communication is sometimes a little bit wobbly, but they are constantly striving to ensure that it's improved. And I'm hoping that athletes are seeing it, because I can see it from the inside, and I hope it's sort of being seen from the outside as well. They're all working really hard just to do the best they can for the athletes. Like that's the game. Like that's the game goal for them at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you can see this. Like, I've not had really issues with Natural Strongman, but like, we've had like obviously a few things where I've said it's expensive, and there's been a few kickoffs. But like, and the thing is, I never said that in a bad way. I never said like, oh, it's fucking expensive, I'm not going to do that. I just said it's expensive, which like, it is. The sport's expensive though. Like, but if you did the full Unbreakables pathway, that's still expensive. Like, the only bonus is you don't have to pay for the testing, but like, that's like by the by, isn't it? I'd rather pay for testing and know that people are natural anyway. So yeah, I do think, like, I think out of all the federations that are in strongman at the moment, they are striving to be the most professional and the most athlete focused. I think that's very important for people to like take a step back sometimes and look at, because I know obviously after England's, like, there was a right kick off about that warm up area that, I'm not being funny, was better than 80% of comps I've been at in terms of warm ups. Like, I've done Glen Ross comps. You want to struggle in a warm up? Go and do one of them, and then come back and tell me that Natural Strongman England's was shit.
And from what I've heard about some, at least you've got a warm up.
Well, exactly, yeah, exactly. I remember doing one comp for him, and it was a max deadlift, and we had 120 kilos to warm up with. The opening weight of that max deadlift was 200. For women. They were like, yep, warm up with 120 and then just go out and pull 200. And I was like, that's never going to happen. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, I feel like sometimes like a lot of new people who come into the sport, if that's your first experience of a comp, yeah, I understand you probably having a bit like, oh, that wasn't great. But from what we have had to now, it's a vast improvement.
Vast improvement.
100%. Yeah, I fucking love it. Right. Well, let's move on then. Ruin the good vibes of being nice about Natural Strongman and go into your Strongwoman lows, shall we?
Okay. Probably the ankle roll at Strongest Lightweights last year.
That was
Yeah.
bad crack, that.
Yeah, for anyone that doesn't know what happened, it was on the frame, set the frame down, and I just carried on going. Hopped over rather than tripped over it, but then landed and just twisted my ankle, basically. Absolutely gutted about that one because I'd worked really hard for that comp. And we had stone for reps at the end, which was something that I was really looking forward to. Because I always have a shitter of a prep with stones. It's just awful. But then when I get to the comp, I'm absolutely fine. So I had Tom carried me off the comp floor because I couldn't weight bear on it. Straight to A&E. I think we were in and out in about 45 minutes.
Hell, that's good.
Yeah. In X-rayed, their feedback was a bit shit. She pulled up a diagram of a foot, pointed at sort of the ligaments on my foot, and said, "I think that's your problem. Off you go."
Cheers.
Yeah. And it was a bit like, okay, so there's no sort of recommendation of you should see this specialist. You should get it scanned to see what the situation is. So we went and handled that at home. But no, I wasn't out for too long, luckily. Mostly followed the rehab I was given. A lot of it was really boring.
Ankle rehab is boring as fuck.
Yeah, I think I was quite lucky with what happened because of the way that I landed. It could have been far worse, but no reoccurring issues from the back of it. Luckily, like there's no pain. I don't get a dull ache anymore. For a little while, it did sort of ache a bit once it was recovered, but it's fine. And I'd say another low for me actually was at OSG Europe's the deadlift. So I had a really good prep with my deadlift. We peaked me and I pulled 167.5 and comp weight was 170. And so I was like, right, bit of rest, off we go, will be fantastic. Making weight for Europe's was an interesting one. I didn't actually have to water cut this one. My weight just kept dropping and we were putting my carbs up. So we were trying to fight the weight loss at that point because it was suited and we knew how my suit fitted. Like I needed to be able to water cut a bit so I could eat back into it. And just on the day, my suit was too big.
Oh no.
Yeah. I had 2 pairs of neoprenes underneath my suit and it just, it was too big and I just didn't get off the floor what I needed from it, which absolutely gutted me. Because I thought, right, I'm in for like a lovely PB here. I would have been so happy with just 1 rep.
Yeah.
It's the nature of the game, though. And when it comes to being natty females, like your hormones do what they want to do sometimes. And we don't know why my weight kept dropping. It just did, even with the increase in the food. So yeah, that was quite disappointing for me.
Yeah, that's so annoying when stuff like that happens as well, isn't it? Especially when you know, like in your head, you're like, this is a shoe-in, like I've got this. And then stuff that's like almost completely out of your control. And you're just like, what the fuck? Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. And I mean, to be fair, another one for Europe's actually was the yoke. So I went into this really confident because I'd been moving quite well with yoke and prep. And then I got absolutely ragdolled by that yoke because you pick it up and it just fucking swings.
Yeah.
It doesn't move like the yokes that I've trained on.
Yeah. I think that's the problem with especially those bigger OSG comps like Europes and Worlds and stuff is because no one has access to that kit other than a select few. Then when you actually go and do it, it's so like specialized and it's so different. And there's a degree for me where it's like, yeah, well, strong is strong. Like you have to just train for it. You've got to sort of expect that that's going to happen on comp day and stuff's going to be different. But it's tricky because it's not getting the best out of the athletes, is it? Like I always think they're deadlift setups where they do like it's not a raised deadlift, but you're on the platform on the wheels. That's shit. Yeah, it's awful. Like that setup, I've never been able to pull what I expect to pull on that setup ever. Like every time I've done it, I'm like, this is fucking shy. Like it's
in your
so
head,
hard.
It's a deficit. Like because I think it's the setup just mentally affects you because you're stood up on that box, so you can only get your feet out so wide to strap in, and then it may not physically be a deficit, but if you do a deficit deads, you're stood on something to the bar.
Yeah.
So just in your brain, it's like
it psychs you out a bit. Yeah, it's fucking well annoying, isn't it? But I do, and I think that it sort of relates to just underperforming at comps, doesn't it? That, like, I think you can have enjoyable comps where you perform like to what you expect or slightly above where you expect, but when you do underperform, it's very hard to pull yourself out of that. Oh, fucking hell, that comp was absolute shite. Like, what the fuck happened
Mm.
there? It's just annoying, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't go into that comp with any expectations. Like, I knew I would come out of it placing last. The one thing that did surprise me is I didn't come last on the steeplechase. Every other event I did. But I was so close to finishing that steeplechase. I just didn't have it in me for that final load.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It was an experience comp, and
Yeah.
that's all it was ever going to be for me, that one. Not writing it off for the future.
Hell
It
yeah.
would
I
be
love
cool to
that.
go back.
Hell yeah. And I think that's super important as well, because those are the comps where you change. Like, those are the comps where you learn a lot about yourself as an athlete, and you decide how serious you want to take it and where you want to go moving forward as well. Because I did that at Worlds in 2022 and zeroed 3 out of 4 events, and like, as an open, and then was like, do you know what, this is crazy. If I want to do this well, like, I need to be an 82. So, and that's like started my weight loss journey when I got back from there. Like, and I think you need those competitions, don't you? Especially if you want to take the sport seriously and move forward, is you need to do shit and then go, right, let's reevaluate this and work out where we're going to go from here.
Yeah, and I was I was an absolute deer in headlights that weekend, the first day as well. Like, I've been in that environment before, because the previous year I had been at OSG Europe, so obviously not competing but spectating, but I had been around the back, so I knew what the environment was like. But it's so different when you walk in knowing that you've got your name on your back of that t-shirt because you're going out on that comp floor. Like,
Yeah.
I was absolutely terrified to begin with.
Yeah, it's a very I think that one as well, because it's in the Barbican and stuff. It's just a stressful it feels really stressful. Like, you enjoy it, but that one for me is like a job. I feel like I go there and I'm like, I have a job to do here and I need to fucking do it well, otherwise I'm fucked. And it's because it's just prestigious, isn't it, Europe's? I feel like.
Yeah, like the sort of the nationals and then Brits, when it comes to that pathway, it's almost like it's two separate entities, really, because it obviously it's run separately. So you've got Unbreakables running sort of England's Brits, and then you have a different team that runs OSG Europe's, and then it's run again differently at Worlds. But it does feel like it's very separate. Like, I've had some people ask me, "Oh, would I look to do Unbreakable England's next year?" And I'm like, no. I've actually not got any interest in doing sort of that first half of the pathway. Like, it would be cool to go back to Europe's, but I'd be doing it from the online qualifier.
Yeah.
That's I think the only way that I would end up there again.
Yeah, I sort of agree. I think the only reason I would do the Unbreakables England's is for the Giants live shot. Like, if that's still a chance next year, I'll probably shoot a shot at that, just because I think it's worthwhile, and it's the only way to get to Giants live at this point, other than having fucking 1 million social media followers. So if I won't be famous, then I'll have to be good at strongman.
Damn it.
God damn it. This would have been so much easier. But yeah, no, I do agree. And it's not because I've got anything against AD or Unbreakables. I think they're in very good comps. I did Unbreakables at England's this year. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a good bit of crack. Like, we had a right laugh at it, and it was a good comp. So yeah, I don't have anything against it. It's just not really my cup of tea at the moment, I think.
No, and like I was saying earlier, like, the levels with the under 64s, like, some of the girls that you see in England are just, I wouldn't have a chance of getting through to Brits and through to Europe's, which some people might say that means, oh, well, you probably don't deserve to be there. It's like, but I had a valid qualification last year, but I just know that I'm not at that standard to be able to get through the pathway. Like, the likes of Shannon, the likes of Emily Norley, who's just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, insane.
Just not a chance. And I know that, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I think as well, like, a lot of those people, the problem is obviously they're going to those comps to win the title. They're not going for the qualification spot because chances are a lot of them have already qualified, like auto qualified from the year before. So they're just going for the title. But then it means obviously unless you're getting drop down spots and stuff like that, then it's just fucking hard work, isn't it? Like it's quite a stressful way to try and qualify for Europe's, I think, to do that pathway.
Yeah, and I know drop downs do happen, but it's not it's never guaranteed to happen.
Nah.
Like you
Whereas
can't
like the online qualifier, the online qualifier is like 7 or 8 people each time. You're like fucking shooting. I can put the lightest of weights on here and still fucking get in. So yeah, like I just think it's easier to just do the online qualifier. But again, that relates us back to what we were saying before. Like there's just not the depth. There's not the depth of athletes. Like there's not. I think I had a really interesting question. So I was talking to my dissertation supervisor the other day because he was asking about my survey and stuff, which hold tight, everybody. It's coming. The results are on the way. But he was trying to get me to like decide on a number of strongwoman athletes worldwide. He's like, how many do you think there is? Like, how many would you think there is? And I was like thinking about it. I'm gonna contact Official Strongman. I'm gonna contact Natural Strongman and just see if they'll give me some numbers for like memberships to see if I can get a bit of an idea. But I said I don't reckon there's more than 10,000 women competing in Strongwoman worldwide at the moment.
I wouldn't have there is.
If you think about numbers and you think about like how spread out it is and how many people you see at big competitions, how many entries you get for worlds and stuff like that, then take into account like the extras of people who maybe aren't involved in these federations. But there's only so many federations. Like OSG is the biggest, you would say, most well-known.
As well. Like the amount of the natties that are actually doing the OSG pathways.
That are doing the same thing. Yeah, exactly. And like, what does OSG on Instagram has like, 200,000 followers or something. But let's say a lot of those don't compete. They're just spectators. Like, I just don't see the being, and I'm happy for someone to like query this and question it and give me better ideas. But I reckon 10,000 is probably a generous guess.
It's a very small percentage of the population.
Tiny, absolutely tiny. Like day to day, how many people do you know that like, obviously we're in the sport, so you know loads of people that are doing strongman, but when you go into like your non-gym areas, you're the only one, aren't you? Like there's not many people where you meet a new group of people and you're like, oh, do any of you do strongwoman? And everyone's like, what the fuck is that? What are you on about?
No, it's like, I know one of the guys on our FM side at work trains in Gav Bilton's gym. Kind of outside of us, that's the only kind of person that I've heard of that's like, oh, they train in that place. Like one person. And I have pockets of sort of friends and know people from all over, from sort of college and obviously living here as strongman and meeting people in different places. Like one person outside of the sport that I'm aware of that trains in a strongman gym.
Yeah. I think it's way smaller than I think we think in our heads. I think it's way more niche than like big day to day things are. Because I mean, even when those guys went on ITV, Naomi and Claire and Lucy went on ITV, like it was just so like it's so niche. You can tell by the reaction that they got. It's such a niche thing. Like it's just not very well known. So yeah, I think that is the biggest problem, like with the sport. Well, no, it's not the biggest problem at the moment. It's quite nice it being small and knowing everybody, isn't it?
But it's like when sort of people ask what I do and I tell them what I do, and then they look confused, and then I'm like, oh, have you heard of World's Strongest Man? And they're like, yeah. It's like, it's that. Like,
yeah, it's basically that.
There needs to be some, like, they need to put some sort of addition into Worlds and be like, this happens. Like, you can do this.
There's women here.
Just these big guys.
Yeah,
like, it would just that something.
Yeah, 100%. It does feel like that World's Strongest Man is like the big thing, isn't it? The Christmas show, that's the way that people obviously know about the world of it. And it would, if it ever gets to a point where they do put like even just a women's like world record attempt, like get Lucy on there doing a fucking world record deadlift or something. Because I think that'll blow the sport up. It would be huge for the sport. And there'd be so many women who would see that and go, oh, fuck, hang on. Like, there's women doing this. What the fuck? And it would be class. But yeah, it's one of them. I think it will grow, and it's growing nicely now, like with how strength is in just terms of everything. Like I think it will grow nicely. But yeah, it's just waiting to see it happen, isn't it? But anyway, we got really sidetracked again on that one, didn't we? We were so bad at getting sidetracked on it. Right, back to you, Ellen. So, what would you say to yourself when you first started the sport then?
Ooh. I mean, I knew very little about it when I started the sport. Like, to be perfectly honest, I'd never even really watched World's Strongest Man. It wasn't a thing in our household. So it's obviously only very recent that I've known sort of about everything. But I would probably just tell myself, like, there's a whole world to this. For me, it was at the beginning, it was just, I'm going to jump in on this fun looking competition on the day. I've got no idea what any of this is, but I'm going to give it a go. But there is a whole world attached to this. And I found my people. You find your people. And I've noticed in a lot of your episodes, like you say people have got to be a bit tapped to be this sport.
Yeah.
You have, and it's just where I fit in. And it's just, I would just tell myself, like, you're going to find your thing. Like, horses was very much my thing. Although you get a whole range of people in the pony club. I did endurance, so I was like right at the bottom. Like, you get your show jumpers and your dressage lot and your mummy darling up there.
Yeah.
But we were the dregs at the bottom of the pony club.
Yeah.
I think I would just tell myself, you're gonna find your place. You're gonna find your space in this.
Yeah, I love that because I do totally agree. Like, I feel like you're the same as me, aren't you? Where you've had like loads of hobbies, loads of different things and stuff. And this will lead us on nicely to the final bit as well. But then you find something like this where it affects every part of your life. And you're like, actually, I fucking love this. And it does feel like it's like a jigsaw puzzle, like finding a place, isn't it? And just going, yeah, I like this. Like, I will make it my entire life. I'm going to try and be sensible with it. But this is where I feel like I was meant to be this whole time. Like, and I totally agree with you. It's just finding that community and that group of people as well. Like, I feel the most comfortable I've ever felt in my entire life in this community and this sport and in my body at the same time. And I think it's so cool to be at that point.
Yeah, because you walk in the door of a strongman gym, like we're at New Level Gym, and you're accepted as you are. And the community that we have there is just fantastic.
Yeah, I fucking
never felt so
that.
at home.
Yeah, 100%. I do, and I think this is a Northeast gym thing as well, me, because like, although to be fair, I say that when I went down to Devon and I went to that Mark's gym, they were sound. Like, there was such a cool crew of people there. Like, so I do think maybe it's just a strongman gym thing, but I do agree. Like, you find strongman gyms, it's just like big weird families in it. Like, everyone's just so fucking sound, and it's weird, but it's fucking class, isn't it? It does lead us on nicely though to a question that we were talking about in the gym yesterday. If we had a Northeast gym competition, whose gym would be the strongest gym? Because I know it's been mentioned on Facebook, and there's been some heated debates about it. So I want to know what your thoughts are. Whose gym is the strongest?
And I know there's been some controversial comments made.
It's been very the Northeast is being fractured by this question.
There's been comments apparently made that none of us have heard made. So, I don't. It's a difficult one because obviously we've got Tom, we've got Fisher, we do have a strong bunch. I don't know a lot of your membership base, but I feel like Northern is harboring some strong people.
Yeah, there's some savages.
What else we got? We've got Stag. They've got a strong crew. I don't really know much about Power Bar and who they've got there.
Yeah. So they did, when I was there, there was a good base of strength there, a good base of strong. Do you know what I was saying though yesterday to Adam? Like, how good would it be if you could do like a teams comp per gym?
Oh yeah, because I definitely haven't heard any of those ideas floating around.
Hang on a minute, have they already been going? We were saying this yesterday, it would be sick though if you could do like a team per gym, like especially in the Northeast, like what we've just named, 5 gyms there that are within 50-mile radius of everything. Yeah. Like, so there's no reason why we can't sort this out. Like, we're fucking so close to each other, it's ridiculous. But I reckon if you did a team where it was like 2 women, 2 men, you'd have a novice man, novice woman, elite man, elite woman. I think have 4 people per gym that you nominate as your strongest section. But the only problem is who's going to come up with the events? Like who would, because it's going to skew towards somebody, isn't it? That's the problem. Yeah, we need a individual adjudicator who isn't tied to any of our gyms and would be able to like decide the events and go, right, these are the events. And then we'll come out and decide who is the strongest gym in the Northeast. The other way we do it is off of the record boards. So we need to put a system together where we can look at everybody's record boards and work out who is the strongest.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I did have a look at your record boards, but I can't remember the sort of categories you've got up there.
We've got everything. So we go off of the weight class categories. Yeah. So we have the masters, and then we also have like weight class. So under 80s, under 90s, under 105 men, opens, and then the women's weight classes. But the under 64s, under 73s, that type of thing.
Yeah, so for us, for the women, we've got basically under 75, under 80 something. So that rather than it being in the weight class that you compete in, it's the body weight that you're walking around at. Because obviously, if we had under 64 up on the board, we'd have very few. Well, we'd have some of our women that would be able to put a number in there, but most of us can't, because I don't walk around at 64.
Yeah. Oh, see, we have an agreement that it's as long as you're within 10% of that body weight that's on the board, you can put yourself in there. So all my under 82 records, I've been heavier. I've been slightly heavier. But I can cut from that, so I'm counting it. I'm fucking counting them because I can cut from it. And usually when I do most of my comps at fucking 87, 88 kilos, so it's about right. But yeah, it would be so interesting. I'm really up for sorting this out. I know that obviously you guys must have something cooking, but I'm
not necessarily cooking, but Tom did mention it the other day. Like he kind of said about it being kind of an idea floating around, and it's the who's going to organise it, who's going to host it, as well as the who's going to pick the events. This is an interesting idea of it, but unless you asked each gym to pick their weakest event for their team.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout. And then they had to do, because then you could do their weakest event. We could do it like a gym tour, because it's not going to take us that long to drive to each of these fucking gyms. They're within 20 minutes of each other, all of them. So what you could do is we could do like your weakest event is picked by that gym to do at their gym. And then because it's on their kit, so they're getting a slight advantage, but it's their weakest event. But then you're going to come up with the issues of, is it their weak? Are they going to pick their favourite, strongest event? Are we hoping that everyone's going to be truthful and honest, which you should be? We're from the Northeast. We're usually pretty good, aren't we?
It's not that fucking serious at the end of the day.
No, it's a bit of a laugh.
I do like the idea of getting something going.
I love this. I love it. I will say, Adam said yesterday, if it was an elite men's and women's team, I'll put this out there for a bit of aggravating factors for everybody. Adam said if it was elite men's and women's team and it was me and him, no one else, no other gyms could beat us. And I'm going to agree with him.
I'd be inclined to agree, because we've got some elite men, but women's wise, we've got some good female athletes, but not fucking elite level female athletes at new level. We're still working on them.
Hell yeah, it'll happen. It'll fucking happen. Nah, I think we need to sort this out. We need to get this going, because this will be fucking class. I'll start putting some messages out. Actually, no. Let me finish my dissertation and then I'll start this. I'll message Tom. Yeah, this could be a good Christmas thing though. You know, like when they do a team's Christmas comp and stuff like this. Yeah. This might be a really fun thing to do at Christmas time. We'd all have a horrible time because all of our gyms are freezing because none of us have heating. And then we can all go and get like a Christmas dinner afterwards somewhere. It'd be lovely.
That sounds like a shout.
Yeah, perfect. Right, we've got a plan. If anyone's listening and wants to adjudicate this, then give me a shout, because we
need some help with the
Yeah, we need a southerner. We need a southerner who has no inclination of anything about northeast stuff, and that'll be perfect. Right, let's move on to the final part of the podcast. Everybody's favourite, the silly goose section.
Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where our lips get loose and our minds run free. Silly goose. It's silly goose time, where we chat a load of shit that's of absolutely no use. It's silly goose time.
So, do you have a silly goose you'd like to bring to the table?
I do not. I tried to think of one, and then I got distracted because work got busy this week. I've had a few want to bash my head against the wall kind of days this week.
Oh, fuck that. No, that's fine. Well, I always have one. This one came to me while I was getting ready, like literally logging on to the podcast. So even though my brain isn't working at 100%, it's always working for silly gooses. It might be shit at everything else, but fucking hell, I'll always get a silly goose gone. So my question for you is, and I knew you'd be like this, which is why I think it works so well. If you had to set up a race, including all of your hobbies, what would they be? What would the different events be? So the way you think about it is think about it as if it's like a strongman comp. So the reason I thought of this is because there's a thing going around on Instagram called the Trout Man, which is where you have to basically like go and find some rivers, catch a trout, and then run a certain distance, and then catch another trout and run a certain distance. So it's like making up your own type of race, but based upon all of your hobbies. So you can have, I'll give you limitations. You have 24 hours. So it can be a 24-hour event, and you have to do whatever your like favorite hobbies are within that 24 hours as a timed challenge.
Ooh. Okay. So I would probably do some sort of distance event with a yoke. Because carrying a yoke's easier than carrying a fucking sandbag. Despite the fact that Ash has given us yoke and Tahusa for lightweight legends.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would do some sort of distance with the yoke. Probably
like a mile or something. Or 5K.
Oh, fucking hell. Becca.
It needs to be hard. It wants to be like
it does need to be hard.
Endurance shit.
Yeah, so let's go with a 5K yoke. The yoke at about 120, I think is a reasonable weight. A 5K yoke. And then you pick up a map, get on the back of the horse. Let's get some endurance going.
Yeah.
So you would have to do I used to do some 8 and 16K rides. So do sort of 16K ride on the horse. You'd be out for a few hours.
Yeah, and you have to navigate that yourself as well. Extra challenge. Love that.
Yeah, that's what I used to have to do. Used to have to follow the map and navigate. When you finish that, though, we'll go with the standards of endurance. So you have, I think it was about 20 minutes to get your horse's heart rate back to resting. So that's part of your challenge.
Like that.
And then, given that I did football as a kid, we'll have a goal out, and we'll have a line of, say, 5 footballs.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, you'd have to score 5 goals.
Yeah.
And then I think I would actually finish off at, not a race course because I don't actually like horse racing, but finish off getting on another horse, because if you've just taken yours for a 16K ride, whilst they'll be all right, it's a bit unfair.
Yeah.
Bolt across the field.
Oh, yeah.
As fast as you can.
Race.
And I think that would be my finish. Bolting from one to the other.
I like that, yeah. I like that. It's unhinged as fuck. You'd be wrecked. But I really like it. I feel like the footballs in the middle as well would feel like a bit of reprieve. You'd be like, oh, thank fuck for this. But then when you actually start trying to do it, you'd be like, this is fucking so hard. Yeah,
it's like, can your legs actually move at that point after 5K with a fucking yoke on your back and then 16K on the back of a horse?
Yeah. That's a fucking effort, that, yeah. How fast do you think you'd do it in?
Ooh, it would take me a while. Because
I feel like a 5K with the yoke is going to be an hour and a half. Like, I just don't see you being able to get it under an hour.
No. I I dread to think what my actual normal 5K time would be at this point. So I think
Yeah, well, mine's 32. I can't get it under 30 minutes because I'm fucking slow. Even though I try in my head, I'm like, I'm an athlete. I start running, I'm like, fucking no, I'm not. So yeah, I reckon for me, it's going to take me at least an hour and a half because there'll be half an hour of whinging as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you'll be out for a few hours on the horse because you've also, like I say, you've got to be tactical with that one because getting their heart rate back down at the end. And what I used to find with endurance race, your finish line would be at the end of a nice grassy field. So what you would want to do would be race across the field for fun, but then you've got to get their heart rate back down.
Yeah.
So you're out there for a few hours.
Yeah.
And then, get off, kick some footballs, and then bolt another horse across the field.
I think the footballs would take me a good probably half an hour to an hour as well, to be honest. I'm so uncoordinated. Sometimes the lads at rugby throw me rugby balls and literally I'll just instantly drop them or fucking they'll hit me in the fucking head or something. I'm genuinely shit at it. Like, it's so... Or they'll be like, can you do some passing drills with us? And I'm like, yeah, I'm throwing the ball. It's fucking all over the shop. It's out to the corner. It's fucking crazy. No, I like that. That sounds like a good race. It's horse heavy. You'd have to be good at riding horses, but yeah, I do like it. I feel like mine I'd include having a fish cart at some point. You'd have to catch a fish in mine. I think there'd be a bit of trail running, but I wouldn't want to do more than a 10K. Like 6 miles is comfortable for me. Like 10K, that would be fine. And then I'd have to do something strongman-y. But I feel like I'd want to do something absolutely unhinged, like monster dumbbell. Like a monster dumbbell, you've got to hit like 90% of your max on monster dumbbell with no kit and no shoes on.
Oh, no kit, no. Yeah, no. See, so this tattoo here, she gets a black eye every time I do monster dumbbell.
I love that.
I get a lump and she gets a black eye.
Yeah, I think mine actually is all there all the time now, that lump. The only thing that stops it is those really nice circusy dumbbells. You know, the ones that I love them. They're fucking great. I think if all dumbbells would be like that, the loadable circus ones, that would be crusty. Because the ones that have got the edge are fucking horrible, aren't they?
Awful. Yeah, we've only got Tom size loadable circus dumbbell.
I know, this is the I was looking at trying to get one of those at like 35, 40 kilos, but I just don't think it's possible. Because even the one that was in Devon, that was 52. Like, they're just so fucking... I think because of the way they build them, they have to be heavy, which is just really annoying. Oh, no, Katie Smith has one, actually.
Yeah, because Emily has one. There are women's smaller ones.
I'm sure Katie Smith's is 30, but you can't load it particularly well because it's so small. Like, it only takes, I think it was a 2.5 kilo plate, so it takes a bit of fucking effort to load it up. But yeah, they must do the smaller ones. I need to look into that. But yeah, I'd have that dumbbell, and then what else would I have? A final thing. Crochet a granny square, fastest time. Yeah, just to make it really unhinged. Really unhinged. So you have to catch a fish, run for 6 miles, do a 90% monster dumbbell with no kit on, and then crochet a granny square. You're done. Yeah, you're done. But, I mean, you might fall at the first hurdle depending on how long it takes you to catch a fish. Well, the way I go, I never catch them fucking anyway. So time out after 24 hours, I'll be like, fuck.
There's going to be more bait than fish on the end of that line.
100%. I actually just go to the shop and fucking buy one.
Guess fish.
I got one, I promise. Class. I love that. Right. Well, this has been a great podcast. A little bit unhinged because it's a Saturday morning and for whatever reason, I am fucking off my tits. But I've thoroughly enjoyed this, Ellen.
Great way to be.
Great. Yeah, it's been class crack. I've really enjoyed it. So where can people find you if they want to follow along with your journey? And if you've got any other things to plug or promote, then do it now.
So I can't remember the exact wording of my Instagram, but it's Little Lifter.
Tagged in the show notes below.
Logged and Loaded, another fantastic podcast to listen to and watch. Yeah. And not going to plug myself, but I am going to plug Tom, because a lot of people seem to see him as an athlete and forget the fact that he's a coach, and he's also a very good coach. So if you're looking for a coach, Tom the Owens.
Hell
Pay our
yeah.
bills.
Hell yeah, I love that. Yeah, and he is a very good coach. He did a lot of Olympic lifting stuff with me before, like years ago now. I mean, I did fuck my knee up big time there, but I did get really good at Olympic lifting. So
Yeah, this is the thing. He does strongman, he does powerlifting, he does ollie lifting. Like, people
Yeah.
think, oh, he's just a strongman athlete. It's like, no, he's got a world of knowledge.
Yeah, no, class coach. Totally agree. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast, Ellen. It has been a
Thank you for
pleasure to
having me.
have you on.
Been
No
wonderful.
problem. And I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Strongwoman Highs, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to support the podcast, then please give us a follow on Instagram. Or if you would like, we're also on buymeacoffee.com/strongwomanhighs. This is where you can send us tips, or you can also join our membership area, which is $5 a month or £4 a month. It's the silly gosling level. We'll post out any extra content that we get on there, and hopefully a few little free giveaways of things as well. The podcast currently doesn't cost a lot to run, which is what we're trying to keep it as, but we would like to be able to cover our costs, and also once those costs are covered, any profit that is made on Strong Woman Highs will be getting saved up and put into a pot for future Strong Woman competitions that we can sponsor. So if you have a Strong Woman competition that you'd like to be sponsored, or if you want to be on the podcast, then give us a shout, send me a message on Instagram or on YouTube, anywhere else you can get us, and we'll get it sorted, because the more women that we can get on, the better. Thanks for listening and watching. Bye!